It has been said that in Twilight Struggle, you need to know the cards well in order to play well. Well, we're going to take you through every card one by one, and we're going to help you become a master at Twilight Struggle. This is Legendary Tactics. Vietnam Revolts is one of the key cards that gets the USSR into Southeast Asia. But is it worth playing for the event, or are the ops too valuable? How can the US deal with this event, or do they even need to bother? That's what we will examine today. For the USSR, the timing of this card is everything. It is a solid turn 1 headline, perhaps the best one for the USSR in the early war, and it's valuable enough that you probably want to play this for the event at some point in the first 2 turns if you can. The problem is, it doesn't stay valuable forever. The main benefit of this event is that it allows you to quickly get to Thailand to establish control before the US does. The US usually moves up through Malaysia to Thailand, which takes some time and signals their intention. If you can follow up a headline of Vietnam Revolts with 3 or 4 ops into Thailand, it's going to be very tough to counter, especially with the extra ops points you have in that turn for counter coup. If you're worried about the US doing a counter coup, you can wait until the track gets to DEFCON 3 before playing the card for the event. The risk of this approach is that it does give the US time to get to Thailand via Malaysia, but even if they do, if you're willing to use the China card, you can usually go over the top to grab control. The card provides a decent advantage with the extra ops as long as they're spent in Southeast Asia. The USSR is generally only going to use this bonus in Thailand. One power play you can do is to play this card for the event and get the bonus operations point in Southeast Asia. Follow up with the China card to go over the top in Thailand and over control. This is the only combination that will give you 6 ops in one card play. But be careful and have a sense of urgency. Asia tends to get locked down at some point in the early war, and Thailand is usually under the control of one of the powers after turn 2. This basically means that you can get to a point when playing this event is actually pretty useless. If this event doesn't get played before turn 3, or if it gets played during the mid-war, it will be pretty ineffective by that point. Arguably, after the Southeast Asia scoring card is played, it really doesn't have much value at all, and you are far better to take the ops. Headlining this card in turn 1 will give you domination instantly in Asia. This basically means 5 victory points if the US makes the mistake of trying to dump the Asia scoring card as a first turn headline to get it out of the way. For many reasons, it's a much weaker move to headline this and follow up with USSR play of the Asia scoring card on action round 1, but depending on your hand, it might be an option worth considering. And you can headline it and do your usual coup in Iran. Sometimes this isn't feasible if you have bid for sides and the US has an extra influence or 2 in Iran. Arguably though, Vietnam Revolts is a better headline than socialist governments, followed by the Italy coup, because there's less luck involved. If the US tries to get you out of Vietnam with a coup, he only has a 1 in 6 chance of getting the only truly effective result, which is erasing your influence in Vietnam entirely. And if you get any other result, you can counter coup with +1 or just move into Thailand as planned. Alternatively, you can headline this card and then play influence into Thailand and Laos, Cambodia. If the US coups Thailand, then you can come back with a vengeance with +1 to your counter coup strength. This can be even stronger if you use the China card, and this would likely give you a strong position in Southeast Asia for the rest of the game. As this would drop the DEFCON to 3, Thailand would be protected for a while by DEFCON restrictions. Also, in this instance, you have other neighboring countries that can help you to get back into Thailand if you need to. As a side benefit, Laos gives you additional insurance against a brush war on Thailand in the mid or late war, makes it harder to push you out of Southeast Asia, gets you a victory point when the Southeast Asia scoring card is played, and gets you one step closer towards India if you need it. Headlining this card and then following up with a coup of Iran or Italy with duck and cover will allow you unfettered access to Thailand. Don't forget to over-control it. This gives the US a coup at DEFCON 3 and a victory point, but that's a small price to pay for potential control of Southeast Asia and Thailand. Another reason to headline this one is because it's not the end of the world if it is blocked by defectors. For the US player, if you get this card in hand, you can safely play it on the last action round of your turn for minimal effect. Just make sure that you have already taken Thailand. Obviously, don't play into Vietnam if this card is still out there, unless for some reason it will help with Asia scoring or Southeast Asia scoring right away. Either you have the scoring card in hand, or you know the USSR has it and has to play it. But realistically, there are usually plenty of other low-risk, alternative non-battlegrounds that you can play into for control. If the USSR headlines Vietnam revolts, be careful you don't end up in a coup war over Thailand or Vietnam. Remember that the USSR has a bonus op point that applies to every coup attempt, and they have the China card in reserve if they need it. On the face of it, at a glance, Vietnam revolts is a pretty average event for the USSR. However, further analysis shows that it's actually one of the best headlines that the USSR can play, especially in the early war, and is key to gaining control of Southeast Asia. For the US player, this is an event that is relatively easy to mitigate if it turns up in your hand. However, you need to make sure that you take it into account when planning your Asian strategy against the USSR. This has been an analysis of the Vietnam Revolts card in Twilight Struggle. We hope you learned a lot, and we hope this improves your play. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. This has been Legendary Tactics.